Okay, so we're here in the final stretch. How are you feeling about the campaign that you've run?
Polls have just closed. I feel incredibly grateful for the chance to be mayor of the city that I love, where I'm raising my kids, where I run a business. And I can't tell you, when we started this, I didn't know how amazing the public would be. And so just to be here as a poor kid who didn't know I could ever be anything, with the potential to be our city's next mayor, is just incredible. And I'm so grateful.
As you have run this race, now you said for the last 9 months, what has been the guiding principle of your campaign?
The guiding principle is just love for Sacramento. I know we're a state capital. Sometimes that takes over our politics and our identity, but there's so much more to our city than just the capital. There's our wonderful neighborhoods, our entrepreneurs. We have so many creative people, artists, and they don't get their due. And so what I love about a race like this is we get to talk to those people. We get to tell them about my vision for the city and what I want to do to make it clean, safe, and vibrant. And so that's really, it's an honor to run, and we've done really well. And so my team, our volunteers, deserve a lot of credit. And this is really a movement for Sacramento.
I know this is difficult to do because there are a lot of different issues that you've been asked about on this campaign, but if you could boil it down to just a small handful of signature issues, the Steve Hansen campaign, what would you say that those would be?
There's one issue that everyone wants to talk about, which is our homelessness crisis. And that is one word for 1,000 problems. People want a safe city. They want a clean city. They want people to be helped, but they want them to follow the rules. So they don't want people to hurt each other, to steal, or seeing people use drugs on our streets. And so a lot of it really is just about that, building housing, getting our small businesses the support they need, especially as we transition away from being a government center. And so I think this is really an incredible time for Sacramento to become a great American city in its own right.
You talk about your personal story in this campaign. Can you just kind of talk us through that? I mean, maybe we don't have to start at the very beginning, but in particular, like the last couple of years of experience that you've had that make you, the right candidate for this job.
Well, every part of who we are, the pain, the excitement of accomplishments, they all make us who we are. I came from very little. Where I grew up, my mom struggled, my family struggled. And so to be able to work hard and to achieve through a lot of people who give me opportunities that didn't have to, I think is incredible. But having been on the city council when I wasn't supposed to win in the first place, and to be able to create things like the Museum of Science and Curiosity, the Clara, the Sophia, to help the revitalization and renaissance of our city is part of the experience I want to bring to the table. But now as a dad with 2 little boys, I give them timeouts, we get hugs, but we have real world experience, and parents, we clean up messes, we help nurture, and we help raise, and our city needs people who love it enough to deal with the mess and to love it for who it is. And I think that's part of the experience that I'm really excited to bring to the table.
Yeah, well said. I think a lot of parents will relate. I'll leave you with the last word if you want to tie it all up into a little bow for us. And thank you again for being available here.
Well, I'm just, right now, polls just closed. We may not know tonight who's going to be in the top 2, but it's almost certainly a runoff. And I'm just really grateful for the support we've had. But I do hope to have the chance to be our next mayor, to make a difference in these problems, to lift our communities, and really just to put Sacramento back on track, because we're an amazing city. And I believe in our future because it's our city, and so we have to fight for it.
And actually, I do want to ask you this one more question about the way that you have run this campaign. What are you proud of, for among your team, the values that you've brought to this race as, this phase of the race comes to a close?
One of the values that's most important to me, that's been front and center in this campaign, is the idea of neighborliness, that we don't have to agree to work together, that we don't have to be politically the same, we don't have to come from the same background or the same race, but if we love this city, there's a place for everyone here. And I think that, whether it's my team, our supporters, we've really built a campaign from the bottom up and the middle out, because everybody who loves Sacramento deserves a chance to make it better.